russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Bro, I swear to God, this show is so freaking
awesome. It's the best show ever.
It's so over the top. We say this all the time. Bro, the only people that act like wrestlers are wrestlers. Ben, I gotta ask you seriously, Stevie. You too. You're a performer. You know, like guys, it is black and white, babyface and a heel, black and white. This I really don't understand. Why is Becky Lynch trying to be a comedian? Why is she purposely being so over the top? I mean, because I'm really watching this and I'm trying to get in her head and understand this. We're supposed to be getting heat here. This is supposed to be about heat, but yet she's going out of her way to entertain the marks and make them laugh at her. So I'm just trying to understand from a talent perspective. I am not a talent. What can be her reasoning for trying to pop the crowd as a heel by being so over the top?
Well, basically, it's just what Raven used to call, when I turned babyface with the BWO, I tended to get in that realm of always trying to get over in whatever segment or whatever we need to do. And sometimes during that time leading up to the first pay-per-view, it was a roller coaster ride where the evil would sometimes win. There needed to be heat. But especially, and this is even worse with her, if you're a babyface, there's a term, babyface cockiness, where you're Sami Zayn kind of has that. I always got to go over. I always got to look good. And there's a lot of babyfaces. They're actually more cutthroat than the heels, less giving than the heels. And secretly, she still wants to be popular. Even the people today that are heels, look at Retribution. Mia Yim goes on Twitter and says, we're not really terrorists.
Yeah.
So deep down, they're heels, but they're also trying to get a pop, trying to get cheered. And by the way, they got merchandise. They're trying to get people to buy their merch, which already is a false positive. Yeah. If you truly want to be a heel, that doesn't work. Like, there's no heels anymore if you really think about it, right, Ben?
Unfortunately, you're absolutely right on that, dude. I was thinking the exact same thing last night. I'm like, who here has any heat? And like, nobody is truly hated as soon as they walk out. It's a false positive of whatever the Braun and Haman's guys are. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's nothing that you actually like. This person is despicable, and every move they make is selfish, and I want to see them lose. So I don't know, man. Like, there's so many bad points of wrestling where to go to the Prodigy match and they're just doing spot after spot after spot, and they think that's chain wrestling, and it's not. Or like I sarcastically described in the main event, that's not how you do a hot tag. If you are in jeopardy and you are taking heat, you do not ever, and you're trying to get to the tag, there is no excuse, no psychological reasoning that you are jumping to the second rope after being down and out and can do a whisper in the wind and then you're knocked out. That is terrible, terrible wrestling. And to watch a clip that I showed I tweeted from last night from Austin and Brett just chain wrestling. These girls coming from NXT with their captain of the ship, Sean, you think a pretty damn good chain wrestler in his own right to some degree, that he would be instilling it. Instead, they go spot for spot for spot, and they do the things that should be the most basic when the people talk wrestling of the old days or Puerto Rican wrestling. There's a rhythm to this. Wah, wah, wah. So when you're bumping the heel, clothesline, body slam, leg drop, it has a cadence, a rhythm. These kids come out of NXT and think they know it. They go clothesline, clothesline, clothesline. That because that's how you teach it at the most fundamental level. She hit her with two clotheslines, brought her up, broke the rhythm of the wah by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's her third wah. And then we should be chanting or cheering while the other person's down. Instead, she goes into a whole nother sequence, bumps her 3 times, has the girl in the corner, and she comes back to life and makes her own comeback on the baby face. Like, the people watching are just going, moves, 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 moves. The actual way it should be in a fight that takes you on an emotional roller coaster, the prodigy, the producers, and the instructors have no idea how to teach these children how to do it, bro. The fundamental terribleness of the psychology of the wrestling I'm watching, where they think they're doing extreme chain wrestling, but it's one spot after another that's meaningless and no-sold, makes them look like complete idiots to real workers.
It's so funny, that you said that, Ben and Stevie, because, bro, like, I worked with all 3 of these guys, and there was a clip that they shot. I don't know where they shot it. You guys know what I'm talking about, where Hunter and Sean are in their suits and they're walking up, and who's there but the Undertaker. So, they acknowledge him. So now you're literally seeing, Stevie, the 3 brains of the WWE circa 2025. That's what you're seeing in that picture. And that picture right there replaced Vince McMahon. Bro, when we sit down, and exactly what Ben said, and when you add your expertise, I mean, Stevie, these 3 guys had legendary careers. There is no question about it. But I am telling you, man, when I'm watching these 3 guys and we're talking about running a company, I don't think these guys are qualified to do that. Just because you had a great wrestling career does not mean you can run a company. These are the 3 guys running the company. And like you said, Ben, how is this shit going on? I mean, Stevie, did you see that one spot on SmackDown where freaking Tiffy almost killed herself? Bro, I swear to God, I thought she blew out both of her knees. I'm looking at these 3 guys, and I hate to say this. And bro, if they heard me saying this, they would cut every promo in the world on me. Bro, I don't think these are the 3 guys that should be in charge.
Well, it's interesting because the analogy I think of is the best NFL players don't make the best NFL coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So with this being said, there's so much on all 3 of their plates. You can't do everything to 100% capacity, mentally, emotionally, physically. Look at Hunter. He's voicing stuff over. He's running the company. He's unreal.
He's opening Topps cards with a fishing knife.
Like, how much time in the day? I'm tired after just doing 2 shows a week and trying to produce and do all that. I'm under the belief, seeing it now, that they need a completely outside creative team or creative person to run that. Now, with those 3 being consultants and trying to put their input, give ideas, all that stuff, but these guys have also been the greatest at getting themselves and keeping themselves over and relevant. The brain is wired completely differently than a Vince Russo or somebody else looking at the entire landscape with nothing like, well, I wouldn't do it that way. Well, I would. That's what you have the 3 consultants for, the 3 people that can give you input of what goes on in the match. That's kind of the formula you had, right, Vince?
Yeah.
You and Ed would write.
Absolutely.
But then you would have some wrestling people like
Patterson, Briscoe. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think these guys are just burned out at this point. And that press conference, I hope that's all it was, that they're burned out, because this was Saddam with the British kid on his lap. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it on Master Sheet. It was a hostage situation. I was like,